Do you ever wonder what camera brand makes the best photos? Like, does it even matter what camera brand you use? I don't think so, but I wanted to know if there was a connection between the best photos and any specific camera brand. So today I pulled 2,182 photos from the big photo hunt, got all the upvote scores, calculated the averages, and determined which camera brands produced the best photos. Does this show that one camera brand performs better than another? No, not in the least bit. But it is a fun and informative way to see if there's any correlation between camera brands and the best photos on the big photo hunt. So to start, here is a breakdown of the photos that I pulled by camera brand. And this has no connection to the actual order of the winners. So you can see here that 34% of the 2,182 photos were from Canon, 30% were from Nikon, Sony came in at 17%, Fujifilm with 7%, and then Panasonic or Lumix came in at 4% of all of the photos of the batch that we pulled. And then 8% of those were just other camera brands, smartphones, and things like that. All right, let's do it. 5th place with the lowest amount of average upvotes per photo of any major brand in this competition. And this brand did have the most photos, 34% of all casts, so they have the most upvotes. If you look at it straight, you'd think they're a winner, but they're not. They're in 5th place. They are Canon with 14.4 upvotes per photo. And does it surprise me that they're in 5th place? I mean, yeah, it surprises me a little bit. I mean, the only thing I could think of is one, because they had so many photos here, diluted some of the highest scores, and maybe that brought the mean down a little bit. The other thing may be that Canon's color science, it's considered safe and very neutral. It's good. And so sometimes like those kind of colors don't really draw eyes. The more punchy, contrasty, creative color schemes, maybe that's what draws eyes of viewers in today's world. But I was surprised because Canon does have some of the most experienced, passionate photographers out there, and you'd expect those photographers to just kind of boost everything up. Okay, 4th place, and this brand submitted 30% all of the photos, so nearly 1 in 3 shots, right behind Canon. They received 28% of the total upvotes, so right near their volume of 30% photos. But per photo, they only averaged 14.9 upvotes, and this brand is Nikon. So I think one of the things here, and this impacts Canon too, is that Nikon has such a broad range of cameras that even though they have these amazing professional cameras that are attractive to really great photographers, on the other end, they do have a lot of beginner cameras. And so maybe that just evens out the field a little bit. Again, total guess, don't take my word on that. All I can tell you is that on the big photo hunt, they came in 4th place with the second to last highest average photo upvotes, but you know what I mean. All right, 3rd place, and this was a surprise for me, not because it's not a great camera brand. I just didn't expect it to be here. I expected it to be in like the bottom 8% of the brands that were submitted. I don't know. If you have feelings about this brand, let me know in the comments. I know a lot of people are very passionate about it. And again, no knock on the brand. It's a great camera brand, just didn't expect it to be here. And so that brand coming in with 16.5 upvotes per photo, beating both Canon and Nikon, is Panasonic Lumix. And I guess that does make sense. I mean, smaller brand communities, they tend to self-select more serious photographers, people that are deliberate about the camera brand they're choosing. And so then they're more deliberate about improving their skills. So I guess, I don't know. I mean, shocked, not surprised because it's a great camera, but just shocked. All right, 2 brands left, and this is where the gap gets wide. All right, 2nd place. This brand submitted 7% of all the photos, so that's 1 in 14 shots, a fraction of what Canon put in, but they averaged 19.8 upvotes per photo. That's 38% higher than Canon, and that brand is Fujifilm. Now, I think I get this because Fujifilm, they're built like this cult-like, intentional, artistic photographer. And of course, their film simulations, they kick ass. Their photos look great and artistic right out of camera, which means that even average shots look polished and artistic. Makes sense. Not to knock Fujifilm cameras. I love Fujifilm cameras. I was traveling recently and I was shooting with a X100VI. And that thing was amazing. It's just that the gap, almost 40% better per photo than Canon, that surprised me a little bit. Okay, and 1st place, and This one's near and dear to my heart because it's what I shoot. It's coming in with an average of 20.7 upvotes per photo. It's Sony. Sony users just consistently have the highest average upvoted photos on the big photo hunt. The part of this that I wasn't surprised by here is that Sony does capture a very, very strong professional and semi-professional market. I think that Sony users are very deliberate about choosing their equipment after they've had time in the craft and have decided that this is the camera that I want. So does this mean that Sony makes better cameras? Nope, not necessarily. It might just mean that Sony shooters at this stage of the game are more selective about the photos they shoot. For Fujifilm, it may mean that this artistic aesthetic is just more appealing to the base of users on the big photo hunt. This all could, and it probably does, mean absolutely nothing about the hardware that people are using. But what it does mean is that of the 2,182 photos that we looked at without knowing the brand name, those photos didn't come from the camera brands with the most market share in this competition or in this data poll. And so if you're out there buying a camera brand, I think this tells you more about the photographer behind the camera than it does actually the gear. I would love to know what you think of all this. Is your camera brand here? Did it rank the way you thought? Please let me know in the comments of this video. I also created a video here in which I looked at 4,381 photos from the big photo hunt to determine if there was a correlation between camera brand and popular photography genre. And of course, if you're into street photography, I made this video here that breaks down which are the most popular lenses for street photography. Interesting findings for both of those videos. See you next time.